And Harden's first pitch is a called strike. Fastball at 89. He'll throw anywhere between 80 and 85 pitches today. We'll see how deep into the game that will get him. And some of it will depend on how many strikeouts. 0-2. We've seen a lot of high pitch counts from Harden as a Cub because he strikes out so many people.
Nothing wrong with striking a guy out if you can do it on 3 pitches, but a lot of times it goes to a full count before he finally does get that strike 3, and that's when that pitch count gets elevated.
Ground ball to the shortstop, Ryan Theriot. 3 pitches, 1 out. Yeah, Rich essentially has been a 6-inning starter as a member of the Cubs this season. If you look at his 8 starts, he's gone 6 innings exactly 5 times. Big hand for Joe Mauer. And I think the ovation is as much as anything, not just the home run he hit yesterday, but the fact that he bought their tickets.
Yeah.
Thanks, Joe.
Most of the Twins fans, well, not most of the Twins fans, but a huge chunk of the Twins fans here today were the recipient of some tickets purchased by Joe Mauer himself. That's one way to be sure you have some people cheering for you. Leave 200 tickets and get them a hotel room.
That's right.
I should have thought of that.
Mauer feeling a little bit under the weather lately, but you'd never know it based on his first game performance.
Well, he is definitely a special hitter in the prime of his career right now. Physically back off the disabled list with a back problem that he had earlier this season, and showed good power to the opposite field. We showed a very quick swing on fastballs on the inside part of the plate. He's just locked in right now.
Fly ball. Similar place. Fukudome, though, watching as Soriano makes a catch. Wind pushing that ball a little bit toward left as the wind is at 8 miles an hour. I have to be honest, I'm a little surprised at just how many Twins fans are in this ballpark. And the Twins players admitted that they got a little boost from that yesterday. We've seen the White Sox here. The Cardinals come in all the time. The Brewers. But I don't know if there have been more visiting fans in the ballpark since we've been together in the booth.
I don't think so. I've seen more Twins jerseys and hats and jackets out on the streets around Wrigley Field before and after the ball games. And certainly they have voiced their pleasure with the way the ball game went yesterday. It's kind of odd, but you know, when you think about it as a visiting fan, if you had to pick somewhere you wanted to go for a weekend of baseball, why not Wrigley?
Orno into left. Soriano coming in, makes the catch, and Alfonso will head right into the dugout and get set for his first at bat. Good job by Rich Harden, a 9-pitch first inning. West starting lineup as they try to get back over the 500 mark. They've dropped their last 3 straight. Soriano, Fontenot, Bradley at the top. Lee, Soto, and Fukudome in the middle. Derek with a season best 11-game hitting streak. Terrio, Miles, and Harden at the bottom. 1 through 8, as Bob said, the same as yesterday.
Take a look at the Twins defensively. Delman Young, Carlos Gomez, and Jason Kubel across the outfield today. Creedy and Harris on the left side of the infield defensively. Punto and Morneau on the right side. Joe Mauer, that guy behind the plate. For right-hander Anthony Swarzak.
This might be his last start because Glenn Perkins is about ready to come off the DL. Making his 5th start and a strike to Soriano. What do we know about Anthony Swarzak?
He'll throw a couple of different fastballs, a 4-seamer and a 2-seamer that he'll try to sink down and in when he needs a ground ball. Has a curveball and a changeup. There's a curveball right there, up a little bit, but called strike nonetheless. I mentioned his last outing against Oakland went 3 strong innings, and then suddenly the wheels came off in the 4th. Walked 3 guys, hit a batter in the head, gave up a double and a fielder's choice, and after 81 pitches and 3 2/3, he was out of the game.
Well, almost ended up fair as it kicked off the lip of the grass in foul territory, but Creedy picked it up just outside of third base. Hey, Abe Lincoln was here today throwing out the first pitch.
Abe's got good stuff.
Cubs are proud to partner with the Chicago Public Library for this summer's reading program entitled Land of Lincoln Readers. This year's theme centering on Honest Abe, his family, his life and times through books and fun, informative events. And for more information, go to chicagopubliclibrary.org. Foul back and out of play. They're celebrating Abe Lincoln's 200th birthday. Mark Reynolds running away from the pack again this year in the strikeout department. A 1-2 pitch, and he struck him out on a breaking ball for the first out. Cubs swung and missed a lot yesterday. 12 strikeouts in game 1.
Boy, there was a period of that ball game for 4 innings in the middle, the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th inning, where they struck out 9 times. All 3 batters struck out in the 2nd and again in the 5th.
And you take this with a grain of salt because, again, Swarzak's made just 4 major league starts, but the first time through the lineup, opposing hitters hitting just 152, then it goes up to 333 the second time, the 3rd time through 400. And that would speak to his last performance. That's most of his success early.
That's not unusual splits for a guy that opposing hitters haven't seen a lot of. First time around, you're just trying to get a real good look at all of his stuff, his release point. And then with subsequent at bats, after you get a real good look at him, they've been hitting him pretty good.
Fontenot out into shallow right center and a long run for Gomez. 2 down.
A little better speed in this Twins lineup today with Gomez in there in center field. He's only stolen 4 bases out of 7 attempts, but this is a Twins team that doesn't really run that much with Denard Span out of the lineup.
A mixed reaction for Milton Bradley. Had a rather eventful day yesterday. He had 2 hits at the plate, including a 2-run double, but a base running gaff. Lost a ball in the sun and then later forgot how many outs there were. And he did face the music in front of the media after the game and basically said if I could have explained it, I wouldn't have done it.
Well, we mentioned at the time, Len, or I mentioned at the time, it happens. I mean, it happens every year. There'll be a dozen or more instances where an infielder or an outfielder forgets how many outs there are in an inning and runs off the field. The infamous play with Larry Walker when he went over and handed the ball to a kid in the stands after 2 outs in the inning. It does happen. You'd like to think it never does, but it does. It's just unfortunate that it came on a day when Milton had some other foibles on the field, and this seemed to intensify the anger of the crowd.
gets a strike, it's 3-1. Well, it was a weird day then in the majors because the Yankees got a major gift from the Mets as Luis Castillo dropped a very routine pop-up in the bottom of the ninth. Floated out into center, and on the move, Gomez leaving his feet to make the catch for the final out. Castillo dropped it, and the Yankees scored twice and won it on a very bad error. 0-0 after 1.
Everywhere. Jimmy John's, America's favorite sandwich delivery guys. And by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines is ready when you are. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on.
Second inning, Jason Kubel, Joe Creedy, Delman Young against Rich Harden. He's just on the DL for the 7th time in his career. Back injury this time. Good numbers for Kubel. He kind of flies under the radar right behind Mauer and Morneau.
Kubel's one of those guys that takes advantage of opposing pitchers. You get through Mauer and Morneau, and it's a natural instinct for the opposing pitcher to take a deep breath. Oh man, I got by the two big boys, and then Kubel comes up there, and he's a very dangerous hitter.
And there you go. That is cranked on to Sheffield for Jason Kubel. That's his second home run in as many at-bats. He led off the 9th yesterday with a home run off David Patton.
It took a while for a fan to run that ball down out on Sheffield Avenue, but ultimately it does come back. That pitch was up and out over the plate. Kubel got full extension and absolutely crushed it.
His 4th homer in 5 games, his second Cubs opponent to hit one onto Sheffield this season. One strike on Joe Creedy. You may get the reference, but whenever I hear the name Jason Kubel, I think of Jubal. I think it was Foster from the Andy Griffith Show. Remember, he had a still, and Barney Fife thought he was drinking from the water, and ended up being some moonshine. Jubal, Jubal, Jubal. Kubel, Kubel, Kubel.
I think we ought to nip that in the bud.
I think we should.
Nip it.
Off the plate inside.
That's something Rich Harden is going to have to do a little more of. Now, granted, it's his first start back off the disabled list. His command might not be as fine as it will be in subsequent starts, but he really needs to work both sides of the plate with that fastball.
Fouled back by Creedy. He was 2 for 13 in his career against Rich Harden. Twins are much more familiar with Harden than the Cubs are with Swarzak. Swing and the miss. Good changeup from Rich and his first strikeout of the day.
Outstanding changeup from Rich Harden. Look at the tumbling action. That ball just dives when it gets into the hitting zone. Looks like a fastball for all intent and purposes to the hitter. About 10 miles an hour slower than his fastball.
Big uppercut swing by Delmon Young.
Mentioned it all day yesterday. It bears repeating. Delmon Young, the most free swinging Twin in the lineup. 47 strikeouts against 5 walks. And 140 at bats over 40 ball games. Once you get ahead of him in the count, you don't have to throw him another strike. Good pitch there. Fastball down and in. Made Young move his legs. Probably set up for a changeup away. Looks like they're going to go back in. Double up.
And right down the middle, and he struck him out. Back-to-back Ks after the leadoff blast by Kubel.
That's a term that you'll see on advanced scouting reports when talking about an opposing pitcher. He will double up on his pitches, and by that they mean he'll throw a fastball in, and the natural progression of pitches is usually to go away with the next one. But in that instance, Rich Harden tried to come back inside with another fastball.
First start in the series for Carlos Gomez.
Always try to stay one step ahead of the hitters.
Scholl's bunt takes a strike. Gomez led the majors last year with 30 bunt singles. He had 50 infield hits. Second to Ichiro, and Harden could not make the kick save on that hot shot. We've seen Harden knock a couple down that way. Gomez on with 2 outs.
Goes right back where it came from. Low fastball down out over the plate. There you see Rich trying to kick save that ball to one of his infielders, but it got through for a base hit in the center.
Second game back from the DL for Nick Punto. He reached base 3 times yesterday and scored a run.
Mentioned Gomez, 4 out of 7 in stolen base attempts this season. Stole 33 for the Twins last year. Had 27 for the Mets the year before. Had a couple seasons in the minor leagues of 41 and 64 stolen bases.
Only 3 guys in their lineup today have a stolen base. Young, Gomez, and Punto. They rely on the home run a lot more than they once did under Ron Gardenhire. Fouled away. Old school, the Twins logo. The Twins are an original American League franchise. They began play in 1901 as the Washington Senators. They only won 1 World Series championship in Washington. That was in 1924. Runner going, throw to second. Got a perfect toss by Giovanni Soto. And Gomez caught for the 4th time this year. Kubel led off the inning with a homer. It's 1-0 Twins.
Aggressively come out of the chute behind home plate. If the pitch is in the strike zone, you have to stay back just a tick longer, and that was the difference in that play at second base. A nice pick by Ryan Theriot, a quick tag. Jimmy John's America's favorite sandwich delivery guys.
Gio came in at 23% in the caught stealing category. Done a lot of work with the catching instructor Matt Sinatra. Strike one to Derek Lee on the outside corner. Swarzak getting the curveball over. Lee with an 11-game hitting streak. He bounces to short. Brendan Harris pops the mitt, throws across. 4 up, 4 down for the rookie righty. Comes Soto. Oh for 4 yesterday. A little bit foul. Swarzak is 23 years old, 6'4", 225. From Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Brought up from the minors on May 20th. In on the hands, 0-2. Been in the Twins top 10 in terms of their prospects list, according to Baseball America. Each of the last 5 years. Was drafted in 2004. And like a lot of small market, lower payroll teams, the Twins must develop through their system. And they've done a good job of that. Called strike 3. Gave him the corner. 2 down.
Not only the corner, but maybe a little high once again. Breaking ball that probably crossed the front of the plate up above the belt. But we've seen a lot of high breaking balls called strikes over the last week or so.
Yeah, he said it's up. You're right. Kosuke now just 3 for his last 28. His average down to 278. Still a very healthy on base percentage at 410. 1-1. You've seen that big flail, that spin around swing from Kosuke here lately that we saw a lot late in the year last year. Shows bunt and takes ball 2. One thing Lou has done, he has given him rest. You know, the Cubs haven't played against a lot of lefties, but generally when left-handed starters have opposed the Cubs, he has given Kosuke the day off. I don't think the problem has been fatigue. Kosuke in excellent shape.
I think in the early part of the year he was really cherry picking some fastballs from the middle of the plate in and pulling the ball hard to right field. And as we talk all the time, the advanced scouts are watching closely every at bat, every pitch. Kosuke started to see fastballs inside off the plate where he can't get to them, and then off speed pitches away. Once again, that's how he fell into that slump in the second half of the season last year.
Gerald Perry, the hitting coach, looking on. It's high.
You know, when you think about it, it's got to be particularly tough for Gerald Perry to work with Kosuke Fukudome. Not that they don't work, because they do. We've seen him in the cage many, many times this season, but his hitting style is so different than the rest of the hitters in the Cubs lineup.
Creedy ranges to his left, and Swarzak with back-to-back 1-2-3 frames to start it. On to the third, 1-0 Twins. .14th game time, 1:20, but be sure to arrive early. The first 4,000 girls 14 and younger will receive a limited edition American Girl doll-sized Chicago Cubs uniform, compliments of Bank of America. Scott Baker and Ted Lilly. The matchup tomorrow. Carlos Zambrano, Randy Wells, and Ryan Dempster against the White Sox next week. So Wells and Dempster flip-flopping in the rotation. Randy Wells did not have a good start yesterday as Nick Punto had the benefit of 4 pitches to end the second inning when Gomez was caught stealing on an 0-2 pitch, singles into right center.
I was just about to say that, Len. What a huge advantage to have a partial at bat where you get to see a few pitches from that pitcher, and then You know, if you're the Twins, unfortunately Gomez got thrown out, but for Nick Punto, he had a nice scouting report in that first partial at bat and was able to cash it in with a single here.
First career plate appearance for Swarzak, who'll try to lay down a bunt. As I was saying, Randy Wells, it was the first bad outing he's had as a major leaguer, but I love the word Lou used, entitled. Randy Wells was entitled to have an off day, and unfortunately, while the Cubs did get 4 runs, the Twins ultimately piled up 7. That looks like a guy who has not batted at this level.
Yeah. Well, when you think about it, even guys like Chris Carpenter and Roy Halladay, occasionally they're going to have an off day. Maybe their command's not quite there. Maybe their pitches don't have the same kind of movement that they normally do. Maybe the other team's offense just has a good day against them, and because they win more than they lose and they keep their team in the game almost every outing, they're entitled.
Third strikeout for Harden. Bob, if anything, does an American League manager after an at-bat like that, instead of getting upset as his pitcher, say, why can't I have the DH today?
I'm sure that has run through Ron Gardenhire's mind as he watched that at-bat progress right there. But to use an overworked cliche in this game, it is what it is.
Smiley face on the cooler with the Cubs cap. Hanging out with Reed Johnson. 1-0 on the shortstop Harris.
You know, sometimes I think we do make a little bit too much of American League managers managing in National League ballparks without the DH. You know, can they handle a double switch? Well, let me tell you something. American League managers have been around the game for a long time. The double switch is not a new concept. It's not like brain surgery. I mean, there's a time and a place to use it, depending on the condition of your bullpen on a given day, where you're at in your lineup. It's not hard to figure out, and I think sometimes we overplay that a little bit too much.
And Ron Gardenhire's entire career wasn't that long, but early to mid 80s was with the New York Mets. Played regularly in one season, 1982, 141 games. He was a shortstop.
I remember playing against Ron Gardenhire, and you could see even then, I mean, it's pretty apparent when you watch ball games or you watch a team on a regular basis or you play against a team, which guys have their head in the game, which guys are trying to learn as much as they can about the game. And Ron Gardenhire was one of those guys. Maybe talent-wise a little bit short from other shortstops in the National League, but much like his team that he has here this year and the teams he's had here in Minnesota in the past, they play the game the right way. They do things fundamentally sound, and that's the way Gardenhire played the game.
One, 2 to Harris. Punto at first, 1 out. Kicks away from Soto, actually in front of him, but it went way up in the air, and that allowed Punto on a wild pitch to go to second.
Sometimes you do everything you can to block a pitch. You get in good position, and it just hits in your body in a bad spot. And that time it kind of climbed up the left arm of Giovanni Soto, hit him in the left shoulder, and popped straight up in the air. 9 times out of 10, that ball will hit and drop straight down in front.
Fly ball, Kosuke going after it along with Soriano. Fukudome will call for it, and he will keep Punto at second base.
You know, and I think back to spring training and even the early part of this season, and there were some communication issues in the outfield. Kosuke played for Team Japan in the WBC. Didn't have an opportunity to play alongside Soriano and Bradley that much in spring training. There were some balls that fell between outfielders, but as this season has progressed, Kosuke has really taken charge when he's out there in center field.
Well, you can pitch around Mauer if you want, but Morneau has 54 RBIs on deck. And I think that's why Ron Gardenhire doesn't care about stacking the lefties. They're the best hitters in this lineup. Joe Mauer was the first player taken in the 2001 draft by his hometown team. He's from St. Paul, Minnesota. Let's go back to that 01 draft. Mark Pryor taken by the Cubs second. DeJuan Brazelton, right-hander. Gavin Floyd, Mark Teixeira. And you see Aaron Heilman, Mike Fontenot. The first rounders that year. Two and one.
That's a pretty solid list of hitters right there. You know, talking to the Twins coaching staff and some of their broadcasters about Joe Mauer and what makes him so good, you hear the same thing that you hear about all good hitters. He has the ability to slow the game down. But when he commits to swing that bat like that, he gets it through the zone in a hurry.
Punto coming around and will score. That ball pretty waterlogged as it got out to Milton Bradley. Anything rolling through the grass in the outfield is going to slow down considerably after all the morning rain. So the third base coaches will be very aggressive on singles with runners at second.
Yeah, you would certainly think so. It's going to be tough to throw that ball if it rolls through the outfield. Maybe a 1 or 2 hopper will get out there and not be too waterlogged, but a hit like this by Mauer that rolls through that grass, I think that ball was even throwing up a rooster tail as it got out to Milton Bradley in right field.
Well, Mauer has knocked in 4 in the series. Here's Morneau. I don't know if Rich Harden and Justin Morneau know each other well. I'm sure they've run into each other a few times over the years. Both guys from British Columbia, Canada. Swing and a miss. This is a balmy day for them. Menard's big numbers stat. Big numbers for Morneau in interleague play. Looked like he had about 3 jackets on. Ski cap. The whole deal.
I'm telling you, we're going to see some sunshine before too long here at Wrigley Field.
Dave Cella is ready for the weather. Where are your gloves, Dave?
I stole them.
Hit hard and just slowed down by Miles, but that'll allow Mauer to get all the way to third. Morneau hit that ball very hard.
It looked like that ball got underneath the glove of Aaron Miles. It was struck very well. Another fastball up and out over the plate. And, yeah, it looked like it just snuck underneath the glove. Aaron got a piece of it and slowed it down. Unfortunately, that allows Mauer to go first to third.
A big moment in this game with the Cubs offense continuing to struggle. It's already 2-0 Twins, and Harden trying to get out of it here against Jason Kubel, who's been hot. 7 for his last 14, 2 homers in the series, and he's going to ground to Miles. This will be an easy play, and that's the inning. Mauer picks up the RBI as he knocks in Punto. 3 hits, 2 left. It's 2-0 Minnesota. creator of Saturday Night Live. I assume that was an accident, what he just did there.
I'm sure it was.
Maybe he's angry with us for some reason. Just kidding. One strike on Ryan Terrio, now 0-2. Got his Cubs cap on. Called strike 3.
I would imagine for Lorne Michaels, this is a scouting expedition. I heard he's going to be over to Second City at some point over the weekend, and some of the other comedy clubs in town. Probably recruiting new talent for Saturday Night Live as Ryan Terrio gets carved up. A couple of curved balls for 2 called strikes, and then a fastball on the outside corner.
Creedy in against Miles. Ball 1. I was going to say, Bob, maybe we could set up an audition for Ryan Dempster. Although it would probably be for maybe a few years down the road. Although I guess they do a lot of their taping in the off season, so he could do it. You know how at the end of the show they have kind of the new cast, kind of the junior members, so to speak. Maybe Ryan could be just an infrequent contributor. He has like a 15-minute stand-up monologue. I think he could do it. Miles shoots that ball into left, and the Cubs have a base runner. Their first of the day.
Hey, Cub fans, you can get a full meal for under $5 thanks to McDonald's Appetite Stimulus Package. A hot sandwich, a cold drink, and delicious fries, all for under $5.
The pitcher, Rich Harden, stepping in. They're being watched today on the Armed Forces Network. We want to welcome all the servicemen and women around the world, including 200 naval ships.
We salute you.
As we bring you big league baseball, the Cubs hosting the Twins.
If Rich Harden can get that bunt down in a good position, he might beat it out at first base. The first time, well, the Twins know a little bit about Rich Harden, but they didn't get to see him hit in the American League. We know Rich Harden can get down that first baseline. If he can place this bunt perfectly, he might be able to leg it out for an infield hit.
Way high on a fastball, 2-0 on Harden. It is very lightly misting at the moment. You probably can't even pick it up on your TV screen. It is ever so slightly.
That's liquid sunshine.
There's the bunt by Harden. Creedy will just get him. It's moving very fast down that line, as you said. Third sacrifice of the season for Harden. Runner at second, 2 outs.
Normally you'd prefer to bunt that ball to the first base side of the field with a runner on first base. The first baseman is holding against the runner and gets a late start toward home plate, but just an absolutely perfect bunt down the third base line from a high-speed shutter cam. See how close it was down there at first.
Soriano with a hit yesterday in the 8th inning, and it went to right. And his manager has often said, and it's not just about him, it's pretty much everybody on this roster. When he's hitting to the opposite field, good things happen. With a 1-out single, he's in scoring position. Fouled off to the right and out of play. I want to congratulate Ryan and Maureen Rubenstein, proud parents of Camilla Kate, who was born yesterday, and they are rooting on the Cubs at Northwestern Hospital. Slide step in the pitch. Curveball low and outside. Ground ball near short. Harris takes care of Soriano and the Cubs in the third. Twins 2, Cubs nothing. question. Only Twin to win the Rookie of the Year and the MVP.
I would have guessed Rod Carew.
You would be correct.
Oh, good.
Started as a second baseman, ended up his career as a first baseman, an occasional DH.
Obviously known as one of the greatest hitters in the game of baseball, but it didn't come by accident. He worked as hard as any player in the batting cage. Stories have been told about his bunting ability. He used to lay a hula hoop down the third baseline about 20 or 25 feet down the line and see how many balls he could bunt into the hula hoop, get the ball to die right where he wanted it to so the third baseman couldn't throw him out.
Got a chance to hang around the Hall of Famer briefly in Milwaukee when he was a hitting coach there. Went into the Hall of Fame in 1991 from Panama. He had 3,053 career hits, a .328 lifetime batting average. Rod Carew.
He used to lay that bat almost completely flat behind him. You see Mike Fontenot as he takes his stance in the batter's box, and most hitters are very similar. The barrel of the bat is either pointing straight up or maybe a slight angle tipped backwards. Rod Carew's bat was almost laid completely parallel to the ground.
You know, as I look at his career numbers outside, 2-1. He was an all-star every year of his career except for the last year. 19 seasons in the major leagues.
That'll get you in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. The 2-1 from Swarzak is too high, 3-1. He hasn't walked anybody yet. Second time through the order now, and we mentioned the batting average by the opposing lineup has gone way up. The second and third time through against Swarzak early on in his career. Broken bat grounder coming in is Harris. Gets rid of it quickly and beats Fontenot by a step and a half. Watch the Cubs take on the Cleveland Indians on Friday, June 19th at 1:20 p.m. It's PromoWorks Sampling Day. Sponsors include Jewel Osco, Jay's Potato Chips, Kellogg Snacks, and Merck's Cheese. Be sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 fans will receive a Cubs barbecue apron. Compliments of PromoWorks. Bradley, base hit past the diving Nick Punto. Milton with his third knock of the set. Robbed of a hit by Gomez. Made a diving play in the first inning.
Stayed right on that breaking ball. Really tracked it well. It's tough to square up a pitch that's moving the way that breaking ball was. Breaking, if you picture a clock from 12 to 6, you have to be pretty exact to square that pitch up, and that time Milton was able to smoke it back up the middle of the field.
Still a little facial hair, but it looks like Milton's changing it up a little bit. One thing he did talk about after the game is that in general, talking about the way things have gone for the Cubs, he just said we need to relax and have a little fun.
Well, that's the old chicken and the egg question. What comes first, the fun or the winning?
That's ripped into left by Derek Lee. 2 on. I know this is fun.
I'd like to see some loud base hits off the Cubs bats. Well, it just scalds that fastball into left field. I mean, the fact of the matter is the Cubs had 6 hits in the ballgame yesterday, and 4 of them were of the broken bat blooper variety. A couple of hard hit balls, but we didn't hear any noise like we just heard off the bat of Derek Lee in the game yesterday, other than the Milton Bradley double off the wall in right field.
Twins want to turn 2 to get out of it. Oh, do I see some blue sky?
Oh, get close.
It's coinciding with this potential big inning.
Keep the line moving, Gio.
Swarzak to the belt. Quick look at Bradley at second. And it's 1-1. So Derek Lee now with a 12-game hitting streak, the longest by a Cub this season. Gomez running in, and he's there. Well, one thing, Bob, with Kadire out, they do get better defensively in center because Kadire's not a natural center fielder. Carlos Gomez can run him down.
Yeah, he can go get him out there in center. No question about that. Strong throwing arm.
Don't think he's going to take away any home runs unless he can jump over the basket.
If he could jump over the basket, he wouldn't be playing baseball.
Kosuke trying to come up with a big hit. Well, the first 2 months of the season, he was the Cubs' most consistent offensive performer. A slow start here in June for Kosuke. 0-2. That's high. But not to harp on it too much, but you know, last year his average went down every single month, and the same pattern has shown up again this year. 338 in April, 277 in May, and 152 here in June.
Ouch.
So he's trying to turn that around quickly. And he strikes out. And with 2 on, so the Cubs strand both. Kosuke shaking his head, didn't like the call. 2-0 Twins. Culver's Restaurants. Get Culverized. We love Culver's. Yeah, the batting practice hat. Be all over that one.
They're all fishing hats to me. Just find the right one that works. Find the one the fish like.
On strike to Punto. Singled and scored in the third. 5 hits for the visitors. Cubs have 3. Two and 2. Florida now with a 5-2 lead at Toronto in the bottom of the 5th. Big grand slam last night by Cody Ross. Florida won 7-3. Call it strike 3. 5 Ks for Harden.
4 of his 5 have been looking. You know, it's amazing when you think that Rich Harden is basically a 2-pitch pitcher, a fastball and a changeup. Now he can move his fastball different, or his changeup rather, different directions depending on the grip. He'll throw an occasional split-fingered fastball, at least he has been recently, but he still catches guys looking. And usually against a 2-pitch pitcher, you would think you're going to get a hack at it. But he's locked up 4 of the 5 strikeout victims in this game.
1-1 on the pitcher Swarzak. Now 1-2 as he's ready to put him away. Another note regarding the Blue Jays. Roy Halladay had to leave last night with some groin soreness. Leads the majors with 10 wins. Also Jake Peavy expected to miss a month. He has a banged up ankle. Three straight strikeouts for Harden. Looking for his second 1-2-3 inning. Bob, got to give a pop to one of your favorite guys, former teammate Dan Gladden, working with John Gordon, longtime voice of the Twins on radio. And Dan announces like he played. He works very, very hard at it.
Boy, I'll tell you what, he takes it very, very seriously, just like he did playing the game. We were teammates for a few years there in San Francisco. The Bandy Rooster, we used to call him.
Former Giant, Twin, Tiger, so he played with you, played with Alan Trammell, played with Bert Blyleven, all in the ballpark.
And all would attest to the same thing, that he was a great teammate. And there's a Cubs connection with Dan Gladden. His daughter Ashley Gladden is an entertainment intern here at Wrigley Field for the summer.
Did Dan score the... I think he scored the winning run, right? Game 7 of the '91 series. Did Gene Larkin knock them in?
Sounds right.
Yeah.
Well, Dan Gladden and Randy Bush renewing acquaintances before the ball game yesterday. They were teammates there in Minnesota for a long time.
Another good connection. One and 2 to Harris. The pitch. That's low. Speaking of the Cubs, assistant general manager Randy Bush, an all-time Twin in their 40th anniversary team. Their pinch hit leader, 6 home runs off the bench. That's an old picture, but it looks a lot like Randy does today.
Hasn't changed much.
Yeah. Ball 4, so he got ahead of Harris and could not put him away. And now he has to face Mauer. Well, Rich was in a good position for another full inning. And he's got to grind to get out of this 5th. With Mauer at the plate. Called strike. Mauer's 2 for 10 against Harden. That includes the RBI single today. He has homered for his other hit. Did not make good contact on the changeup. It's like another full house today.
Joe Mauer's hitting numbers in just about every conceivable situation are really good. Men on, nobody on, runners in scoring position, 2 outs, runner at third base, you name it. He's got good numbers.
Soto wants it up and in. And it was up right over the plate at 95 from Harden. So the velocity is there. Again, he was on the DL for a non-arm related injury, a mid-back strain. Two and two the count. Harden did have one rehab start. That was for Iowa 5 days ago. Swing and a miss. He struck him out, pulled the string, got Mauer. 3 strikeouts in the inning. Still 2-0. Gail, thanks. We started a little bit late today, just after 12:30, and it's 2-0 Twins. Got to get the offense going. We know that. Lou has an interesting decision to make here in the bottom of the 5th regarding Rich Harden.
Yeah, we talked about the short bench, flipping out Bobby Scales for Rich Harden, who was activated to pitch this ball game today. So he doesn't have a lot of bullets, so to speak, on the bench today. I would imagine in a perfect world, Lou would like to see Ryan Theriot and Aaron Miles reach successfully here to start the inning, and then he could use Harden to put down a sacrifice bunt, even if he wanted to go to the bullpen.
No action right now in the pen. But with the Cubs having their struggles offensively, you're down 2-0. If you have a big-time shot here to score some runs, might force the Cubs to take out their starter. 81 pitches for Harden through 5. And he's looked very strong on the mound. I mean, you have to feel pretty good so far. 7 strikeouts.
I do have to admit he's a lot sharper today than I anticipated. There have been occasions this year where Rich has trouble with his command, especially keeping that changeup in the strike zone. when he wants to. But he's been throwing the ball really, really good today for his first day back. Reason for optimism. The Cubs have 3 hits in the game. They've come in the last 2 innings. The numbers you gave earlier, usually the second and third time around against Swarzak, teams start to have better swings.
Terrio's been caught looking twice. 5 punch outs for Swarzak. 3 have been looking. For individual health insurance from a name you can trust, call Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois at 866-575-BLUE.
Still nobody throwing in the Cubs bullpen, and Rich Harden has made his way out to the on-deck circle, so it looks like Blue's made his decision.
Swarzak, in his first 4 major league starts, had exactly 3 strikeouts in every start. He has 5 this afternoon. His season high at AAA Rochester was 6. A rainbow to center. Gomez coming over. His major league debut couldn't have gone any better. Got the win, but his innings pitched have gone down since, and he had allowed 12 earned runs over his last 3 starts into this one. Swing and a miss.
And the really, really good thing about his major league debut, that 7-inning, 5-hit shutout performance, it came against the Brewers.
And the Twins swept that series. They're 4-0 against the National League. Congratulations to Tim and Courtney Lonjouet, who got married last night, and they have about 50 friends and family at the ball game with them today. You want to give out your advice? I know we wear this out, but it always applies.
Oh, absolutely. It's as pertinent today as it was the first day I heard it. Practice this phrase and use as necessary. Yes, dear, you're right. I'm sorry.
Words to live by.
And you will have many, many occasions to use that phrase.
3-2 to Harden. I never get sick of it, to be honest.
You know, the game of baseball is all about repetition. You do the same things over and over. You hope to get as consistent as possible, and marriage is a lot like a baseball game. So practice, practice, practice. Good battle here by Rich Harden. Probably his last at bat of the ball game. You would certainly think so. He's at 81 pitches, and the target zone was 80 to 85, but because he is pitching so effectively, he may get stretched out a little bit longer here today.
Making Swarzak work. The 8th pitch of the at-bat, and a high drive by Harden. Kubel will get there, and Wynn not helping Rich today. He'll push that ball back in. They go down in order, 2-0 Twins. The Cubs Sox series on Crosstown Classic Primetime. Guests will include Jerry Reinsdorf, Frank Kenny, Kenny Williams, and Jim Hendry. The Crosstown Classic Primetime Monday night from 7 to 10 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. Harden back out for the 6th, having made 81 pitches, 53 for strikes.
Well, then you think about the White Sox. I mean, we talk a lot about the Cubs and how much they miss Aramis Ramirez in that lineup. The White Sox in interleague play in the National League Park are without Jim Thome. Carlos Quentin is hurt. Paul Konerko has an injured thumb. I think the latest report is he's going to try to play through it. But that's 3 key pieces to their offense.
Bachelor party here at Wrigley Field. That last day of freedom.
Yeah, I would suggest those guys really practice the phrase.
I don't think they're thinking about that right now. They don't want to be bothered with that.
Wow, that's a good look, sir.
Okay. One, 2 to Morneau, and he swung and missed. Strike 3.
Well, as happens a lot of times with a changeup pitcher, as we've gotten deeper and deeper into this ball game, he's gotten a better and better feel for that changeup.
Righty Jose Escanio up in the bullpen under the watchful eye of Lester Strode, the bullpen coach. A strike to Kubel. Kubel capped his cycle with a grand slam. Third player in the last 100 years to do that. Tony Lazzari of the Yankees in 1932, Miguel Tejada in 2001 with the A's. That was April 17th against the Angels. Harden's 1-2. Struck him out. Don't miss the action as the Cubs battle the Indians Sunday, June 21st. Game time 1:20, but be sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 males 14 and older will receive a Cubs Golf Club cover, compliments of Comcast Sportsnet. The end of the bat as Creedy pops down the right field line, and it's going to drop untouched right near the bullpen.
There's not enough hang time on that broken bat pop up for any of the Cubs defenders to get underneath.
This one is playable for Derek Lee. Makes the catch to end the inning. Probably it for Harden. Did an excellent job today. 2 runs in 6 innings of work. Bottom 6. Cubs still trail by 2. A gift for your Cubs fan dad. Stop by the Harry Carey's Italian Steakhouse in Chicago on Tuesday, June 16th from 5 to 7, where Ernie Banks, along with authors Grant DePorter, Elliot Harris, and Mark Bansell, will be personally signing copies of the acclaimed book Hoodoo, Unraveling the 100-Year Mystery of the Chicago Cubs. Oh, 0-1 to Soriano, pulled on the ground right to Joe Creedy, who normally gobbles him up over there.
I'm shocked that Joe Creedy was playing in front of the bag there for Alfonso Soriano. I can't remember the last time Fonzie tried to bunt for a base hit, but Creedy was sucked right in at the edge of the infield grass and, as you said, gobbled that one up.
And he's really good at third base. Joe was an all-star last year. In his final year with the White Sox, just 97 games, back problems again, had another operation, and then signed as a free agent with Minnesota. 1-0 on the Cubs third baseman today, Mike Fontenot. Three and one the count. Swarzak hasn't walked anybody. Cubs only took one walk the entire day yesterday. As Kevin Slowey went 6 strong innings, walked 1, struck out 10. There is the first free pass, and the tying run will come up.
Still blowing straight in from center field, not nearly as briskly as it was when we started the day here at Wrigley Field, but what better way to erase the taste of that awful day that Milton Bradley had yesterday than to launch one out on Sheffield himself.
Slightly open stance from the left side. Strike one.
That's not the kind of swing that's going to produce a home run to right field.
Wind has died down a little bit as the clouds are clearing. We're seeing some blue skies to the north. Fontenot with a pretty good lead at first. The pitch by Swarzak, fouled back by Milton, 1-2.
Better hack that time. His timing was good. The rhythm with his feet, his body, everything was coordinated. Just got underneath that fastball a little bit.
He struck him out swinging. So that ties Swarzak's season high in strikeouts at AAA and the major leagues.
Belt high fastball outside corner. Oh, Milton was way behind that fastball.
Escanio and Angel Guzman up in the Cubs pen.
It's apparent to us, but we'll explain why. Do you have two right-handers throwing at the same time in the bullpen? You would assume that Escanio will come into the ballgame if the score stays the way it is right now. If the Cubs pull closer, tie it, or take a lead, we would probably see Guzman in that situation.
It looked like Derek was trying to tie it on that cut. 1-2.
We know that Lou has soured on the watching of videotape a little bit recently, but this is one of those games where Cubs hitters are going to go back and look at some of these at-bats and go, how in the world did I miss that 89-mile-an-hour fastball right in the middle of the plate?
Quinto looking for help. He'll get it from Kubel, and that ends the inning. Cubs have left only 4 through 6, but they haven't had many base runners today. 2-0. Most game shows in town. The best coverage of the Crosstown Classic is right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. Here's Jose Escaño trying to keep the Twins right where they are.
Very encouraging outing from Rich Harden today, even though he did give up the 2 runs. You'd like to think your offense would put some runs on the board to help you out. But having Rich Harden back healthy, throwing the ball the way he did today, just deepens an already really good starting rotation for the Cubs.
Front door breaking ball for a strike to Delman Young. Oh, 0-2. Escaño took the defeat in Houston in that game that went 13 innings Thursday. He went an inning and 2/3 and gave up the 1 run, but threw well on the trip. Game before that for him on the 7th against Cincinnati, 3 scoreless extra innings. And he strikes out Delman Young.
Nice sequence of pitches to get to that 1-2 changeup, fading down below the knees. We've talked about Young throughout the first 2 games of this series. Once you get ahead in the count, he will expand his zone. Nice job by Escaño.
The 9 strikeouts for Rich Harden today, the most he's had since his start on April 26th at St. Louis. And the Cubs keep this nice string alive of excellent starts. Little hiccup yesterday from Randy Wells, 3 2/3, 4 runs, but other than that, it has been lights out. 0-2 to Gomez. The pitch. He struck him out.
You know, and I'm sure Randy Wells would tell you that he didn't have his best stuff in that ball game yesterday, but in his defense, I think it was more the approach of the Twins offense. They really shortened up their swings, with the exception of the big three in the middle of that Twins lineup. But Brendan Harris at the top and everybody below Jason Kubel in the Twins lineup were really just shortening up their swing, trying to make contact, taking the base hits back up the middle of the field in the opposite way. And anytime an offense has that approach against you, it's going to be tough.
More strikes from Escaño. 0-1 to Punto. Terrio picks it up. Time for the stretch. Bob Dernier is here.
Taking me out to the ballgame is former Chicago Cubs great.
Cubs great and current outfield and base running coordinator Bob Dernier is with us. I love the hat. Very nice.
It's a rainy day.
Yeah. Welcome back, and got to get some runs here.
That's why I'm here. Okay, pressure's on.
You're the man to get it going here. Well, you were the catalyst, the spark plug. We'll see if Giovanni Soto can be that guy here in the 7th.
Yeah, we got to get it going right now.
Anthony Swarzak working on a shutout through 6 innings. Give us just a quick recap of what you've seen in the organization here in 2009 in terms of outfield play.
Well, one thing I've seen today is that Bob's sick, and I feel bad about that, Bob, to start with.
Well, he's a gamer, though. You know that.
Yes, he is. So is his son, by the way. I've had a good look at Michael, too. Playing well down in Peoria. And we've got, on the young outfielder front, the newest news is through the draft. As you guys know, we have pressures on me. I got 4 center fielders, including the #1, and here we go. But we've got some young crop, and it's starting to come up. AA, Darwin Barney, Tony Thomas, the middle infielders there. Castillo, a catcher. The guys with Rhino there, they're starting to develop. And then at the lower levels, we've got some younger kids. Castro, a shortstop.
Yep. Starlin Castro, remember that name, as Brendan Harris slips and gives way as Gomez makes a catch.
Yeah, I think it's starting to look like winning, really, Lynn. Throughout the organization, as you already know, the kids are threatening the roster each year, and the Samardzes and Sotos and Terrios and on and on. I think that's what it looks like, and if we can continue that and keep pushing it, then we're going the right direction.
Well, Bobby, for fans that don't maybe know what a rover does, maybe give us just an example of what your schedule might be like over the course of a couple weeks or a month. You're all over the place.
Oh yeah. Good luck keeping up with me. Really. It's a lot of joy though. It's what I love to do, and I do have a few days off here though. I've got a little timeout. Reports are due the 15th. I've got a couple of my boys here, Dustin and Michael, and my girlfriend Elizabeth's here, amongst a couple of others, and we're having a nice kind of break in the middle of the summer.
It's nice to take a break when you spend most of your summer in hotels and on airplanes and on buses, huh?
Well, and it's difficult to stay connected with the kids, and once in a while you just have to throw them in the luggage and bring them along, and so that's what we're doing.
Well, it's always great to see you, and saw you a lot in spring training, of course, and you and Mike Quaddy working with the outfielders. I want to ask you about Kosuke. Has played all 3 outfield spots, but last year mainly played right. What were a couple of things that maybe you had talked with him as it's knocked down by Swarzak and he'll throw out Fukudome in terms of playing center?
Well, my impression with Kosuke is if you watch him play, nobody does the fundamental things better. Just routine fly balls. He sets up the throw right. He doesn't look for the runner to run then throw. He's always anticipating, and these are the things that we try to teach in the minor leagues. Certainly, if you're afraid enough to make mistakes, you'll do those things right all the time. And so I try to instill a little fear in him, and so far so good. The guys work hard, and we really have a heck of a staff throughout the organization, and I'm real happy to be a part of it.
You get good work in Arizona in terms of outfield play, and they're going out toward the wall because of the light air as Kubel dives, can't get it. Terrio on his way to second, and he'll stop there, and the tying run will come up once again. Boy, balls fly all over the place in Arizona, don't they?
Oh, I'll tell you, that'll make you consider playing tennis or something.
Especially if you're a pitcher.
Let me tell you, that's a rude awakening for a lot of players. But when you think about it, we've got Arizona, we've got everywhere we go, Daytona, there's a lot of wind. It sets you up real well to come to Wrigley.
Kubel laying out, couldn't get it.
They say if you can catch a fly ball in Phoenix, then Wrigley's kind of a piece of cake. I don't know if I subscribe to that thinking, but
well, Beebe talks about that high sky in Arizona, and we sometimes have that here, particularly in right field in the middle of the afternoon. Not today. Still waiting for the sun to come out.
Yeah, it's too early. The center fielder's got it right now. If it's out, it looks like we'll get a little blue sky.
Here's Aaron Miles with 2 outs. Bob Dernier in the booth with us.
Let's get to Hoffy.
Yeah, Michael Hoffpower on deck. Not bad in the pitcher's spot if Miles can get on base.
Another youngster that's earned his stripes. It's good to see Micah doing a good job here.
Miles a switch hitter, batting lefty against Swarzak, and he fouls it off. Well, your job was to get on base, maybe steal a couple of bags, and make sure you're on there for the guys in the middle of the order.
Yeah, that's it's a role I think that our club, we have some of that. I think the game's evolved back now too. It's become more of a smaller ball game now than it has been, and I think that's going to be important to have that kind of personality as an offense. We've got some thump.
Right back to the pitcher, Swarzak, and he'll get the out. Bob Dernier, always a pleasure, and enjoy your time off here, man.
Thanks for having me, Len. You guys are on your own. Have an 8th inning, okay?
Sounds good. Fortunately, Swarzak would get out of it.
Nice
Escanio warmed up
Len.
for the 8th inning. But it's going to be Sean Marshall. As Brian Busher, a left-handed batter, was announced. 2-0 Twins. Lefty versus lefty. Sean Marshall against Brian Busher, who's making his first appearance in the series. We saw Marshall yesterday, 2 1/3, 1 hit, no runs. Excellent curveball, 0-2. So Busher batting for Swarzak, who had the best performance of his career. Second time he's at 7 shutout innings, but this time 1 walk, 6 strikeouts in his major league debut. 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. The pitch, shank foul.
Sean Marshall pitched 2 1/3 innings in relief of Randy Wells in the ball game yesterday. Gave up a 1 base hit, struck out a couple of Twins batters, did walk 1, but no run scored.
Back to the mound for Marshall. Time to bring you up to speed with the AT&T Rapid Rewind. Jason Kubel leading off the 2nd inning against Rich Harden, and deposits one onto Sheffield for his 2nd home run of the series. Joe Mauer would add an RBI single in the 3rd, and it's 2-0 here in the 8th. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Top of the order now, and Harris, ball 1. 40,899 in the ballpark today. And again, Cub fans haven't had a lot to cheer about. The team being shut out on just 4 hits. Fontenot to his left. 2 outs. Twins don't have a hit since the 3rd inning. It's Joe Mauer for the 4th time. He's 1 for 3 with an RBI.
Sean Marshall got Mauer to ground to second base in the ball game yesterday. We've seen that Sean's got the real good curveball working today. Let's keep an eye on how Joe Mauer attacks a tough lefty. Swings through a first pitch 88-mile-an-hour fastball in the inside corner.
Mauer yesterday with his 13th home run, already tying his career high. And he bounces to Aaron Miles. Good job by Marshall. Gives 3 ground outs, and we'll head to the bottom of the 8th. Cubs will face the Twins bullpen coming up. Pinch hitter, then Soriano and Fontenot. Right-hander Matt Guerrero setting up today for the closer Joe Nathan. 1 strike. He gave up an RBI single to Derek Lee and then got Soto to fly to center. 1/3 of an inning in game 1. 0-2 to the pinch hitter Hoffpauir. Looks like we're going to see Kevin Gregg, the Cubs closer, in the 9th. Either way. And the sun is finally out. Maybe that's a good sign. 1-2. I know one thing, Bob. I don't think the Cubs want to go into the bottom of the 9th down 2 runs against Joe Nathan. He was nasty yesterday.
He really was. Going in the mid-90s. Nasty 2-seam fastball. Need a runner.
A key guy here with a home run power on deck in Alfonso Soriano. Cued the other way. Creedy right in front of Harris. And third baseman are taught, if you can get it, get it. Even though Harris was there. Award-winning musical entertainment invades Wrigley Field this summer. Join us as Billy Joel and Elton John perform their face-to-face tour on Thursday, July 16th and Tuesday, July 21st. Rascal Flatts will perform their Unstoppable tour on Saturday, July 18th. Tickets are still available. You can visit tickets.com or call 1-800-THE-CUBS. Mezzanine suites are also available by calling 773-404-CUBS. Pulled foul by Soriano. Well, the hardest hit balls for him lately have been pulled way foul.
Really getting the barrel of the bat out in front of home plate, rolling that top hand over. And as you said, most of his hard hit line drives and hard hit ground balls lately have been wasted foul down that third baseline.
Matt Guerrero was born in Cleveland, went to Kent State, and was taken by the White Sox in the 10th round in 1999. 76 games last year, tied for first in the American League in appearances. Swing and a miss. He struck him out on a slider.
Pitchers make him aware inside. He speeds up his bat like we were just talking about. Tries to get out in front of that fastball inside and then becomes susceptible to that slider off the outside corner, low and away.
It's just baffling to see an offense that last year led the entire league in runs, 13th in the NL coming into today. Soriano down in the low 230s, Fontenot in the low 240s, Milton Bradley in the mid 220s with the batting average. Eric Lee at 269, Giovanni Soto 209. Fukudome 273, Terrio 279, but they got off to hot starts. And Harris will take it from Joe Creedy. Cubs go down 1-2-3 in the 8th. Off to the 9th, still 2-0 Minnesota. Get highlights of all the action, analysis from Todd Hollandsworth, and check in on Lou Pinella's post-game remarks. Don't miss Lowe's Cubs post-game live immediately following the game right here on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Todd Hollandsworth will conduct the 7th inning stretch at the end of this homestand. Sure, he's practicing in front of the mirror every night.
You got to practice with Bobby Dernier. Bobby took my advice. Start low and slow. Of course, Bobby's got that deep voice to begin.
Yeah, he's got that baritone. One strike on Justin Morneau. Closer Kevin Gregg working here in the 9th. Floated out into center. Kosuke makes the grab on the move for the out. Has his sunglasses on as the sun is out.
thought it was interesting and reaffirming to hear a guy whose expertise is in outfield play talk about Kosuke the same way we've been talking about him all year. Just does everything fundamentally right. Gets behind the ball, gets himself in a good position to make a throw. Doesn't really wait to see what the runner's going to do. He just goes ahead and makes the play. Throws to the proper base.
Well, the home run ball has been the big one for the Twins in this series. Joe Mauer, go-ahead two-run blast yesterday, and today it was Kubel. Bowers came in the third inning. Kubel's today in the second. Count even at 2 apiece. Well, you feel every day you feel good going into the game with what the Cubs are putting out there in terms of starting pitchers. Not quite sure what Rich Harden would give the Cubs today, swing and a miss, but when he's been right, he's been excellent. You feel great about Ted Lilly tomorrow, as the Cubs felt about Randy Wells yesterday. But the question now is this offense going to produce? They were shut out by Anthony Swarzak in 7 innings today. Matt Guerrero with the scoreless 8th, and Joe Nathan lurking in the visiting bullpen for the bottom of the 9th.
And really the only thing you can do is just wait for the guys to come around. I mean, I've suggested in the past maybe a few more bunts, maybe a few more stolen base or hit and run attempts. But the problem with that is you've got to have the right personnel to do it. And a lot of times the Cubs are starting an inning with 1 out and then they get the base hit.
Yeah, they just haven't had opportunities. And while there's no question this team misses Aramis Ramirez, it's not the ultimate excuse, as Creedy skies Soriano and Fukudome. Kosuke is calling for it and taking it. Well, a little collision there. No harm, no foul. But, you know, the Dodgers continue to win without Manny Ramirez. Bottom 9, last chance. 2 to tie, 3 to win.
As you go back to the 04 season, he saved 44 ball games, then 43, 36, 37, 39. The highest ERA and the only ERA he had over 2 was in 2005 when his ERA was 2.7. Every other year under 2.
2.7, that's terrible. Well, there you go, Bob. Bunted by Bradley, just trying to find a way to get on base. As dire as it may seem, it's only a 2-run deficit.
Well, you want to get the tying run or the go-ahead run to the plate. I mean, you know, sure, it'd be nice Milton Bradley swing away and hit one out on the street somewhere, but the Cubs would still be trailing by a run. Right now, you need base runners.
Nathan's last blown save was May 15th at Yankee Stadium. The pause in the action as there was an item on the warning track. Come on, guys.
Don't do that.
While we have a chance, let's look at the Feldco upcoming schedule. Series will wrap up tomorrow. Off day Monday. Ron Santos charity golf tournament will be Monday. Looking forward to that. And then the Sox are here on the north side. We'll have all 3 games here on Comcast Sportsnet. Indians are in. Kerry Wood and Mark DeRosa back at Wrigley Field next weekend. We are ready to continue. Nathan works from the windup, but not a lot of moving parts as he gets started. Derek Lee next, and then Giovanni Soto. Outside, good eye, 2-2 on Bradley. Nathan, a former San Francisco Giant. Is ready to fire to third. I think Bradley and the Cubs got a break. See if he can take advantage.
Wow.
That looks like a good pitch.
After a series of 2-seam tailing fastballs off the outside corner away, Nathan comes with just a little wrinkle of a slider. Looked like it was all over the plate above the knees, but Milton Bradley alive in the sequence here.
We're ready for a 3-2. New life for Bradley. And he walks.
All right.
Boy, that could be a pivotal moment in this game. I'll be honest, Bob, that was, if ever there was a strike, that was it. And you know what? It's time the Cubs did get a little break.
You need to catch a break once in a while. Yeah, just because of the sequence of pitches, as I mentioned, a series of 2-seam fastballs in the mid-90s, working down and away from Milton Bradley, and then he came with that little wrinkle of a slider. I think it fooled not only Milton Bradley, it fooled the home plate umpire Dan Bellino as well.
Yeah, you have mentioned that in the past, that every once in a while an umpire will get fooled. Lee 1 for 3. He singled in the 4th, grounded out back in the 2nd, flied to right in the 6th. The pitch, fastball is in there, strike 1. Only other game going on at the moment, Florida 6, Blue Jays 5, bottom 8 in Toronto. Here it's 2-0 Twins. A bunch of other games are getting underway in a few minutes as Derek almost got hit.
Like a rare curveball from Joe Nathan. He's basically a sinker slider pitcher, but tried to snap off an overhand curve, and that ball just didn't take the break. Looked like Mauer was expecting something else too, the way he reacted. That's just self-defense back there. That's called goalieing up as a catcher, when you're expecting one pitch and you see something else. Mauer went out to visit with Joe Nathan to make sure they have their signs together.
Marmol ready possibly for a 10th inning. If you can't find the outfielders, it's because they're pinned up against the wall. It's as deep as you could possibly play. Pulled foul. I mean, we could ask Bob Dernier about it. I mean, you would know better than I, but I mean, Delman Young and Jason Krubel, I mean, they're like 5 feet from the track.
And the theory is their main concern right now is keeping Derek Lee off of second base. They know by playing that deep that there's a real good chance Milton Bradley will go first to third on a base hit, but their main concern is keeping the tying run, Derek Lee, off of second base.
Well, it means there's a lot of real estate in front of those guys. You don't have to get it all back in one swing in this inning. Off the glove of Creedy. First and second. Another break for the Cubs. Creedy just couldn't put the clamps on it. And Lee has his second hit. And Andres Blanco's going to bat for Giovanni Soto.
Boy, not an easy pitch. Derek really had to go down and get that one, but he squared it up, hit a solid line drive that Joe Creedy just couldn't corral. Well, this is a move that you would not have seen for 6 months last summer. Giovanni Soto, the scheduled hitter, representing the winning run in this game, the kind of year he had last year. There is no doubt he would have taken this at bat right now, but because of the struggles of Gio and the struggles of the Cubs offense, Andres Blanco, we assume, will be asked to go up and put down a sacrifice bunt.
Pitching coach Rick Anderson coming out. Nathan's been doing this for a long time. You mentioned all the stellar numbers, but nobody's necessarily above being rattled, and maybe that pitch he didn't get for a strike, he's still in his craw, as they say.
It happens. It happens. Interesting. The pitching coach came out to talk to Joe Nathan and Maurer as well, but also the shortstop Brendan Harris was involved. So anytime I see that, I alert my base runners, heads up for a pickoff.
Long look by Nathan. He has a sign from Maurer. Then Blanco showing bunt. Pops it foul up to the top of the screen.
Nathan normally likes to use that two-seam fastball, but in an apparent bunt situation, you may see him go to that four-seamer, try to keep it up high in the zone. We've already seen Blanco foul one in the air to the backstop. We really have to concentrate on hitting that top half of the baseball. Get it on the ground.
If you're wondering, Soto without a sac bunt on the year. So it's Blanco called upon to get it done. Cornermen pinching in. He squares. He gets it down. Nathan will throw to first. There's 1-4.
Good to see Andres Blanco has had his problems at the plate offensively, starting to hit better lately, but contributing here to the offense by putting down a perfect sacrifice bunt.
Tough series for Kosuke. 4 strikeouts and 0 for 7. He can be a hero now. Tying runs are in scoring position. Bradley at third, Lee at second. Cubs have 2 shots at it here. Fukudome and then Terrio. The pitch. Fouled back. The Cubs are 0 for 4 with men in scoring position in the ball game. Only the 4th inning they've had a runner reach as far as second. And this is the first inning anyone has gotten to third all day. Oh, 2.
You have to believe that Nathan's just going to stay away from Kosuke. First pitch was a sinker. He fouled off. Comes back with a backdoor slider for a called strike. He's probably just going to live on that outside corner down there around the knees. Maybe show a fastball up just to change his eye level, but I doubt if Kosuke is going to see anything from the middle of the plate in.
And he struck him out, 2 down.
Did get a pitch on the inside part of the plate. At least it started on the inside part of the plate. Look at that downward movement on that slider. Kosuke swings right over the top.
Everybody getting up on their feet. Cubs fans and Twin fans alike. Nathan versus Terrio with 2 outs. Just on a slider at 88 miles an hour.
And now the Twins outfield has shortened up considerably because now Derek Lee representing the tying run at second base. They want to give themselves an opportunity to throw him out should Terrio get a base hit into the outfield.
Wind blowing straight in from center and not very hard at the moment. The 1-0 to Ryan. 2-0. Miles on deck. Ryan with a bloop double to right in the 7th. Joe Nathan hasn't allowed an earned run in basically a month. May 15th in New York. In some trouble here with 2 outs. A 2-0 to Terrio. A fly ball to right. This should do it. Krubel surrounds it, makes a catch. And they take the first 2 games of the series today. Swarzak, Guerrero, and Nathan combined on the shutout. And the Twins beat the Cubs 2-0. The Cubs threatened. They put the first 2 on.